I found this object on Worthing Beach in the United Kingdom. It's about 1.5 meters long, with a metal tip, and looks slightly burnt. It's definitely man-made, but I'm not sure what it could be. Could it be part of a ship? Does anyone have any idea what this might be? What you found is called dragon's teeth. These were part of the World War II invasion defenses, and they often get uncovered after storms. Dragon's teeth were designed to damage or pierce the hulls of landing craft and other small ships used in invasions. They were installed at a 45-degree angle facing the tide to prevent enemy ships from successfully landing. Along the coastline, from Littlehampton to Elmer, many of these defenses are still buried, but occasionally become exposed due to weather and tidal changes. Dragon's teeth were just one part of the coastal defenses during World War II, along with minefields, barbed wire, and anti-aircraft guns, all meant to stop invasions by sea. I found these unusual goggles at a thrift store. They seem quite old and are made from leather, metal, cloth, and velvet. There's also a spring mechanism to keep them open or closed, and the label says, "Patented made in USA," but there's no patent number. They look like they might be from several decades ago. The store owner didn't know what they were. Does anyone have any idea what these goggles might have been used for? The item you found is likely a form of a Masonic hoodwink, which is used in Freemasonry rituals. A hoodwink is a type of blindfold made from materials like leather, cloth, and velvet, similar to what you described. It's designed to cover the eyes during certain Masonic ceremonies, particularly during initiation rituals, symbolizing darkness or ignorance that the initiate is meant to overcome. The spring mechanism would allow it to be easily opened or closed during the ritual. Masonic rituals often use symbolic items like this to represent different stages of enlightenment or personal growth, and the hoodwink is an important part of that initiation process. I bought this item at a flea market in Germany. It's quite heavy for its size, and when the lid is screwed on, nothing can fit inside because of a black rod. There's a tag with the number 637, and the same number is engraved on the inside. Does anyone know what this might be used for? What you have looks like a metal container, which is used to shield a radiation source. The black rod part likely housed the radioactive material inside. These containers are typically used for transporting or storing higher activity radioactive sources, but they are sometimes used for lower activity check sources as well. After receiving advice from people on Reddit to contact the fire department, the original poster shared the following. I called the non-emergency fire brigade number this morning, and less than 2 minutes later, 6 fire engines, 3 ambulances, 3 police cars, and a bomb disposal unit arrived. They evacuated all the flats in the building for 4 hours until they finally took it away. It turned out to be thorium. I bought a silver spoon on Facebook Marketplace in Portugal. The description only mentioned that it's made of silver. It has a distinctive top part, and I'm curious if anyone knows what this spoon might be used for. The spoon you have is a silver medicine spoon, probably made in Europe sometime between the early 1700s and the late 1800s. It was designed to make it easier to give medicine, and it might have also been used for feeding. The spoon is partially covered to stop liquid from spilling as it's poured into the mouth through the hole at the end. This design may have also helped keep patients from seeing the medicine too closely before they took it. I came across some old photographs of early 20th century kitchen cabinets, and they have built-in funnel-like structures. Does anyone know what these were used for? The funnel-like structures you saw in the photographs are part of a flour bin and sifter combo. You would place a bowl underneath to catch the sifted flour. These were often built into Hoosier cabinets. A Hoosier cabinet is a type of freestanding kitchen cabinet that also serves as a workstation. It was very popular in the early 20th century in the United States because most homes didn't have built-in kitchen cabinetry at that time. The Hoosier Manufacturing Company of Newcastle, Indiana, was one of the first and largest producers of these cabinets, which led to the term Hoosier cabinet becoming a generic name for this type of furniture. By 1920, the company had sold 2 million cabinets. I found a scissor-like tool with spoon and ring ends. It appears to be from 1901, and there's some text on the bottom of the spoon part that says, "Patent August 27, 1901. Does anyone know what this tool might have been used for? The tool you found is a pineapple eye snip, patented in 1901 by John Pack. According to the patent, this tool was designed to remove the tough, inedible eyes from a pineapple while preserving as much of the fruit as possible. Today, this might seem strange, but in earlier centuries, pineapples were so valuable that there were even services that rented them out to wealthy individuals to display at parties. By 1901, pineapples had become more accessible, but they were still considered a luxury, and only the wealthiest could afford to enjoy them. However, by the 1920s and 1930s, thanks to mass production and canning introduced by James Dole, as well as improved transportation infrastructure, pineapples became more affordable and accessible to the general public. By the mid-20th century, they were no longer considered a luxury item and had become an everyday fruit in the United States. I found an old wooden handheld item with multiple metal prongs that aren't very sharp. It's not heavy. I found it in a box of family heirlooms, and I was told it's been in the family for 4 generations. Does anyone know what this could be? What you found is a meat tenderizer made by the Japanese company Our Own Import in the mid-20th century. Meat tenderizers are used to soften cuts of meat by breaking down tough muscle fibers. This makes the meat easier to chew and helps it cook more evenly. It's especially useful for tougher cuts of meat, like beef or pork. We found an antique-looking foot-operated device with spikes on the roadside near our home in Sydney, Australia. The area used to be industrial. It's about 4 feet tall with no visible logos or markings. Does anyone know what this could be? What you found is likely a cobbler's eyelet press, probably handmade. These tools were used to punch and insert eyelets into shoes. The wide arc allows enough space to move the shoe around, and the tilted angle makes it easier to work on the shoe without needing the press to be flat. I found an ornate, hollow, telescoping tube with a notched end in an antique collection. It's approximately 5 inches long when unextended. Does anyone know what this could be? What you found is a lorgnette handle featuring octagonal mother-of-pearl paneling in 3 sections divided by gold-filled fixtures. A lorgnette is a pair of spectacles with a handle designed to be held in place rather than worn over the ears or nose. While they could enhance vision, they were primarily used as a piece of jewelry and often favored by fashionable ladies at masquerade parties or the opera. They were particularly popular during the 19th century. I bought a scissors-like device at a flea market years ago. At first, I thought it might be an oyster opener, but it definitely isn't. Does anyone know what this could be? What you bought is a vintage umbilical clamp made around the late 19th century. This clamp was used to help stop bleeding from the blood vessels in the umbilical cord after it was cut following childbirth. That's why it's shaped like a stork. At that time, such tools were often made from solid silver, whereas today, plastic is commonly used. Its approximate value today is around $400. I found an antique box with small drawers and holes of the same size on top. There are no markings or inscriptions. Does anyone have any ideas what this could be? What you found is most likely a box for a ball voting system. In this system, each person places their vote using a white ball for yes and a black ball for no. For example, a person might take a small drawer, place a ball in it, and then slide the drawer back into the box. Once everyone had voted, the top would be removed, allowing the person counting the votes to easily tally the balls. I found a wooden box with a metallic sphere inside. The sphere can be removed from the box, and when I shake it, it makes a metallic sound like there are small balls inside. My dad found it in the house of a relative who recently passed. Does anyone know what this might be? What you found is a hydrometer. Hydrometers were used to determine the strength of spirits for distillers, victuallers, and tax collectors, as well as to measure wort, both before and after fermentation for brewers. It provided an accurate method of determining alcohol proof, strength, percentages, and the associated duties. To use a hydrometer, it would be submerged in the liquid, and the scale on the device would indicate the alcohol percentage present in the liquid. Recently, I covered a different type of hydrometer. That one worked by using weighted balls with numbers on them, which would float at specific alcohol strengths. You can check out that video by following the link in the description or by clicking the card on the screen. In the last video, I asked you to guess what that strange wooden object with a hole in the middle was. Several of you were able to figure it out. It is indeed a book thumb holder. Thank you to everyone who left a comment with their guess. The first person to guess correctly was user Mega of Chaos. Alright, it's time for another mystery item. Take a look at this one. How do you think this metal tool with a wooden handle might have been used? Leave your guesses in the comments below, and I'll reveal the answer in the next video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Your support motivates me to create more videos. See you next time.